and what is a new dangerous escalation of the U.S.-Iraq air war. America uncovers documents that reveal how the U.S. used the FBI to spy on its own trip. This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather reporting from CBS News headquarters in New York. There is debate about abuse of the elderly in America's nursing homes. Ongoing CBS News investigations have repeatedly turned up evidence of such abuse. Now, congressional investigators are out with a new report of their own. Among their key findings, abuse at more than 250 homes nationwide, some cases caused actual deaths. CBS's Bill Whitaker has the facts and follow-up for you.
Families turn to the nursing homes to give the elderly the care and attention. A congressional report out today says 1,600 U.S. nursing homes, nearly one-third, have been cited for abuse, including injuries, sexual abuse, even death.
The idea that residents of nursing homes would live in fear of abuse and not be able to communicate it to others, and that the nursing homes aren't watching enough to catch this sort of thing, it just seems to me unconscionable.
Congressional investigators found 1 in 5 nursing homes failed to report incidents or even make sure staffers had no history of abuse. In almost 8%, residents suffered actual harm. And in 256 homes across the country, the abuse was so serious it put elderly lives in jeopardy or actually resulted in death. It's a shocking reality for thousands of older Americans, a trend CBS News first reported last year with the story of Helen Love. She was attacked by a certified nurse's assistant at a Sacramento facility. He was angered that she'd soiled herself.
He choked me, and he broke my neck.
Helen Love died 2 days after this interview. The nursing home industry agrees on the need for stiffer background checks, but insists abuse is not widespread.
The congressman himself said that the great majority of long-term care in our nation is excellent, and that there are people every day working very hard to provide that care.
Congressman Waxman today called for more federal dollars and oversight of the industry to guarantee that America's elderly spend their final years in a safe nursing home, not a house of horrors. Bill Whitaker, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Electronic security experts are waving a red flag about, quote, Code Red. That's a major new threat to computer systems worldwide. CBS's Cheryl Atkinson reports that when this program worms its way from the internet into a computer network, the results can be devastating.
The mysterious computer bug called the Code Red worm hit David Henderson's online magazine over the weekend.
You blink and it's gone in an instant. All the information you have on your computer is locked up and you can't recover it.
The Code Red worm surfaced just last week, using the internet to disable websites worldwide, and it's programmed to strike again tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, prompting the FBI to join with private industry in issuing a public warning.
This worm is vicious in intent. The Code Red worm has infected hundreds of thousands of systems worldwide.
Worms slither silently into computers, faster spreading and harder to track than their cousins, computer viruses. The Code Red worm attacks computers which use Microsoft Internet software, spreading wildly beginning the 1st of each month. Then on the 20th, it instructs infected computers to overload the White House website. Steve Trilling works for a virus-busting company called Symantec.
The goal for this threat was to spread to as many computers around the world, and then they would all start sending traffic to the White House website, all at the same moment.
The White House changed its internet address last week to dodge the attack, but the worm will still work its way into unprotected computers and may cause slowdowns and outages on the internet. It stands to cause millions in damage. Those who do business on the web, including the government. The worm even ate through a Microsoft website, leaving only cryptic graffiti. Today's alert was to tell Microsoft users that there's a free software fix on its website to protect against the Code Red worm. So far, officials haven't been able to track down whoever started it. Dan?
Cheryl Atkinson in Washington. Congress this week begins debating whether, and if so, how, to require automobile makers to increase fuel efficiency. A new, much-awaited report from the National Academy of Sciences says vehicles can be built to get better mileage without dramatic reductions in size. And Any increased safety risk can be minimized by focusing size reductions on light trucks, including SUVs. The report did not recommend what the new fuel efficiency standards should be. Saddam Hussein clearly has redoubled his efforts to take down a U.S. military aircraft. He's made several attempts in the past week, both inside and outside Iraq, with better, more advanced weapons than ever. Tonight, CBS's David Martin has word of what may be yet another brazen challenge to the United States.
The crew of an AWACS radar plane orbiting over Saudi Arabia has reported seeing an Iraqi anti-aircraft missile fired into Saudi airspace. The AWACS was 200 miles away from the Iraqi border, and U.S. intelligence has yet to confirm the crew's visual sighting of the missile. The firing into Saudi airspace would mark a major escalation in the air war between the U.S. and Iraq. The AWACS, with its crew of 25, is a fat target, which is why it operates well back from the Iraqi border. The AWACS was never in danger, but even an unsuccessful attempt would mark the first time the Iraqis have fired on an AWACS and would mean they have moved anti-aircraft missiles right down to the border with Saudi Arabia. Saddam Hussein is clearly becoming more aggressive in his attempts to shoot down an American aircraft. The Pentagon is drawing up plans for a major strike against Iraq's air defense network, but officials are concerned such a strike could end up hurting the U.S. more than Iraq.
There would be tremendous resentment, in part because there's a lot of frustration with the U.S. foreign policy at the moment. It's all tied to the Palestinian question.
In the Arab world, the U.S. is seen as partly responsible for the continuing violence between Israel and the Palestinians.
They believe Israel is to blame, and they believe the U.S. is not stopping it.
Israeli strikes against Palestinians make it harder to launch U.S. strikes against Iraq.
The frustration on the Palestinian issue is translated into sympathy toward Iraq, in part as a way of defying the U.S.
Losing just one plane over Iraq would be a disaster for the U.S. policy of containing Saddam. But launching the kind of strike it takes to protect those planes could turn out to be a setback for that very same policy. David Martin, CBS News, the Pentagon.
Explosions, large and small, today punctuated what's now a 10-month-old escalating Israeli-Palestinian conflict. An Israeli helicopter fired rockets at a Palestinian police station in Gaza City, wounding 2 officers. Palestinian officials deny Israel's charge that mortar shells were being made there. Earlier in the West Bank, a shack blew up, killing 6 members of Yasser Arafat's Fatah organization in what the Israelis call a bomb-building accident. In this country, the spreading plague of addiction and death linked to the powerful prescription painkiller OxyContin has taken an unprecedented turn in court. A Florida doctor who prescribed it to a patient is facing charges of first-degree murder. CBS's Bobby Harley is on the case.
21-year-old Michael Labsda's complaint to a doctor of minor back pain got him a prescription for OxyContin. But the Jupiter, Florida man overdosed and died after taking the powerful painkiller, just like more than 100 others nationwide.
We are dealing with the pharmaceutical equivalent of an atomic bomb. From the outset, everyone involved in the chain of distribution of this drug has failed to recognize its potency and its potential for abuse.
Now, Dennis Dianarine, a board-certified family physician, is the first doctor charged with first-degree murder for inappropriately prescribing OxyContin to Michael Labsda. It's a charge that could carry the death penalty.
This is a unique first-degree murder case.
But it may only be the latest tactic to fight the skyrocketing illegal use of OxyContin, a drug so addictive and so in demand on the street. Robbers raid pharmacies for it rather than money. 6 states have made it more difficult to prescribe, and its manufacturer, Purdue Pharma, faces 12 class action lawsuits.
Can you just imagine what the legal implications would be if you started blaming doctors every time a patient abuses a medication that they get?
Labsda did have alcohol and other drugs in his bloodstream, but the state attorney argues he should never have had the OxyContin in the first place.
We're not taking on the medical community. We're not taking on the drug. We're taking on one doctor that inappropriately prescribed it.
But this case could very well be a warning. Several more OxyContin overdose deaths are now under investigation in Palm Beach County alone. Authorities say not all of them were this doctor's patients. Bobby Harley, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
CBS News has an update tonight on the civil
lawsuit that would have put the makers of Viagra on trial. A judge in Stockton, California, has dismissed Russell Lee's suit, ruling there was insufficient scientific evidence to support his claim that Viagra gave him a heart attack. Lee says he will appeal. Overseas tonight, the police in Belfast, Northern Ireland, are investigating a shooting that targeted two friends, one Protestant, the other Catholic. A gunman killed the 19-year-old Protestant and wounded his Roman Catholic friend. Investigators put up a tent at the site, and area residents left flowers nearby. The political arm of the Irish Republican Army blamed the shootings on a militant Protestant group, saying the gunman apparently thought both victims were Catholics. Japan's prime minister celebrated a big victory for his political coalition in Sunday's parliamentary elections. He vowed to press ahead with painful reforms aimed at pulling Japan out of its 10-year-old economic slump. And a powerful typhoon blasted the island of Taiwan, causing floods and mudslides that killed at least 35 people. 3 men in a rubber boat were caught in one raging flood, but were finally rescued by helicopter. On the CBS Weather Watch, torrential rain has taken a heavy toll on the Virginias for the third time in a month, especially West Virginia. The latest flood and mud left 2 dead and millions of dollars in damage. In Medina, Ohio, the county fair opened as scheduled today, the day after 4 people were killed and about 50 others were hurt in the explosion there of an antique steam-powered tractor. The blast spewed hot oil and shrapnel up to 100 yards away. Coming up next on the CBS Evening News, Eye on America investigates how the FBI spied on U.S. citizens. You'll be interested to know who was at the center of the operation.
The CBS Evening News and tonight's Eye on America segment are sponsored by Tylenol. Take comfort in our strength.
My doctor says I'm healthier than he is. I swim every day.
If you suffer from arthritis pain, speak to your doctor.
The lake is good for your soul.
Tylenol arthritis pain, as effective as the most prescribed arthritis pain medicine, but much gentler to your stomach.
When I swim, I'm free.
Tylenol arthritis pain. And to help promote joint flexibility, try a Flexa, a glucosamine supplement.
Best Western, the world's largest hotel chain, is almost anywhere you want to go. The world's largest hotel chain tucks you in around the globe. With over 4,000 hotels in over 80 countries, the world's largest hotel chain is Best Western, inviting you to get a good night's sleep. Best Western, the world's largest hotel chain. Call 1-800-WESTERN or visit bestwestern.com.
Heart health. News on your mind. And now, Centrum Focused Formulas for Heart has been clinically proven to reduce homocysteine, an emerging risk factor for heart disease. Centrum Focused Formulas for Heart.
Ouch! Pain again? I thought your dentist said brush with Sensodyne every day.
I stopped when the pain stopped.
Keep using it. It keeps working.
Sensodyne every day. Now try Sensodyne Tartar Control Plus Whitening every day.
Hi, I'm David Orrick. How'd you like to get this $100 cordless iron absolutely free? Call this number now and try my amazingly light, incredibly powerful 8-pound Orrick XL on your carpets, tiles, and even wood floors. This $100 cordless iron is yours, whether you keep the Orrick XL or not. There's nothing to buy. Call 1-800-635-7586. 1-800-635-7586. Nothing gets by on Orrick.
Freezing chicken. Only Ziploc double guard freezer bags have an inner layer that clings to seal out air that causes freezer burn. Regular freezer bags don't. Put an end to freezer burn with a Ziploc double guard freezer bag. Freezing steak. Only Ziploc double guard freezer bags have an inner layer that clings to seal out air that causes freezer burn. Regular freezer bags don't. Put an end to freezer burn with a Ziploc double guard freezer bag.
The Senate Judiciary Committee opened confirmation hearings today for Robert Mueller, President Bush's choice to head the FBI. Mueller, a federal prosecutor, said his top priority would be to restore public confidence in the Bureau. Committee Chairman Patrick Leahy said that until he does, Congress will take a, quote, hands-on approach to overseeing the FBI. The FBI has, of course, been shaken by a string of embarrassments, including the discovery that longtime agent Robert Hansen was spying for the Kremlin. Now it turns out Hansen was also spying on American citizens from all walks of life, in this case, spying for the U.S. government. An Our America investigation detailed how Hansen was part of a decade-long surveillance operation little known until now. From the start of Ronald Reagan's presidency, there were protests. The president said there were some subversives in the streets and suggested he had evidence.
I can't go beyond what I've done because I don't discuss intelligence matters, and that's what I would be getting into.
Now, 19 years later, newly released FBI documents obtained by CBS News reveal a widespread domestic spying and intelligence operation. Thousands of ordinary American citizens were under surveillance throughout the 1980s. From the sane nuclear freeze group to the senior Grey Panthers, the FBI was watching in a program it says was to limit the influence of Soviet propaganda in the U.S.
I believe in trying to improve things where you are, where you live.
The FBI was watching Melvin Beckman, who works to improve neighborhoods in Omaha, Nebraska. Beckman was a Catholic priest who opposed military training, ROTC, in junior high schools.
I believe it's wrong to kill, to hit, to threaten.
While anti-war protesters in the 1960s and 70s were familiar with FBI surveillance, these newly discovered files show the FBI continued the controversial practice at least into 1993.
These things are evidence of a nostalgia for the good old days of Joe McCarthy.
The FBI files include a letter discussing labor law written by Democratic Congressman Barney Frank in 1989. Appropriate or inappropriate that the FBI would be intercepting, filing away, looking at the mail of members of Congress?
Wholly and completely inappropriate. It was intended to discourage people from engaging in the kind of political activity the FBI didn't like. Secondly, it's just a colossal waste of money.
But former FBI man David Major, President Reagan's advisor on counterintelligence, insists hostility between the U.S. and Soviet Union justified the money spent to limit what he describes as Russian influence.
Espionage then and today is very real, and active measures, manipulation of public opinion was very real at that time.
Active measures was the name given to Soviet disinformation, front groups, and forgeries. At the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics, a racist flyer supposedly from the Ku Klux Klan turned out to be a KGB forgery designed to disrupt the games.
So it was a very dark period.
It's not an easy question about when or whether to order government surveillance of American citizens exercising their constitutional rights. Is that exercise so protected that the government should virtually never intrude? But in the case of active measures, there is more. In a bizarre twist, a key player who signed off on many documents was Agent Robert Hansen, the man who turned out to be spying for the Soviets. David Major was Hansen's boss. As close as you'd worked with him and you described him as a friend, were fair to say you were surprised or would astonish be the better word?
Be more than astonished.
Today, at a crossroads, a new FBI director hopes to lift the agency above the embarrassments of misplaced documents, lapses in prosecution, and the spy found in its ranks. As for Melvin Beckman of Omaha, he's still working to improve the world. His current project is a newsletter urging reform of the American prison system. It's work that could help the master spy, Robert Hansen, now facing life behind bars. Late today, the FBI told CBS News the active measures operation was conducted, quote, entirely within the law. Tomorrow night, CBS will bring you new insights into the double life of Robert Hansen, his part in this operation, and how he managed to fool his closest FBI associates.
Our vision of the future? To see more families
family and friends.
Because health concerns change after 50, Centrum Silver added lutein. Emerging science suggests that lutein and other nutrients may help reduce the risk of cataracts. Give your life a silver lining with Centrum Silver.
When my arthritis started choosing the notes, I thought my jazz days were over. But my doctor said keep moving with Advil. It's strong enough to let me control the pain. That's me playing again.
Take Advil and take control.
I'm every man.
And every woman who ever suffered from frequent, persistent heartburn.
If you've treated your heartburn and changed your diet, but the pain comes back 2 or more days a week, then you may think you know about acid reflux disease.
But there's something about acid reflux that I didn't know.
Over time, that acid churning up can wear away the lining of your esophagus.
I didn't know.
I didn't know.
I didn't.
Now the makers of Prilosec introduced their new purple pill, Nexium. Just 1 prescription Nexium a day gives many people complete resolution of heartburn symptoms.
That could mean complete heartburn relief.
And Nexium is also proven to heal erosions in the esophagus caused by acid reflux. Only a doctor can determine if you have this damage. Other serious stomach conditions may still exist. The most common side effects of Nexium and Prilosec are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. So talk to your doctor and call this number for more information and for a free trial certificate for Nexium.
Relieve the heartburn, heal the damage. It's possible with the new purple pill called Nexium.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
Hey, neighbor. I whipped up a delicious crab cob salad and these mouth-watering crab portobello mushrooms. Nice mold.
At Red Lobster, we love preparing crab in fresh new ways. So come in now for the Festival of Crab. Red Lobster, go open.
For itch sufferers, relief is here. 12-hour Lanacane with antibacterial plus vitamins. Works all day or all night.
It stops itching plus kills germs.
Lanacane, itch relief that works all day or all night.
Engineer Tom Setter is a student of tranquility. For the all-new GMC Envoy, he and his team use hydroform technology to absorb vibrations for a surprisingly comfortable ride. They also gave Envoy a 270-horsepower best-in-class engine. They want you to feel relaxed, not fall asleep. Introducing the GMC Envoy.
A private commission chaired by former Presidents Ford and Carter tonight recommended some basic election reforms. Among them, making Election Day a federal holiday. The commission also said voters challenged by poll workers should be allowed to cast ballots and their validity determined later. Former President Clinton opened a new phase of his life today as he opened offices in Harlem, the historic African-American neighborhood here in New York City. CBS's Byron Pitts reports the social, financial, and political impact on the streets and in the business suites.
It's a long way from Hope, Arkansas, but today for Bill Clinton, Harlem felt like home.
You were always there for me, and I will try to be there for you.
The former president made Harlem his second choice when a $900,000 a year office in Midtown Manhattan at taxpayers' expense was widely criticized. So he settled uptown in the largest office space of any former president, a penthouse suite for his staff and visitors from around the world.
Oh, I think it's wonderful for Harlem. I really do.
But for all today's excitement and block party atmosphere, there's also a sense of frustration here. For many in Harlem, gentrification is a dirty word.
Keep Harlem! Keep Harlem strong! A small group of demonstrators echoed a growing sentiment. Harlem's changing yet again. Once the Mecca of Black America, the birthplace of legends, Harlem had hard times in the 70s. But it's now in the midst of a comeback, thanks in part to federal tax incentives supported by then-President Clinton. Major corporations are replacing small black-owned businesses. Wealthier families are moving in, while poor people are moving out.
The price of progress should not be that those who are at the bottom are pushed further down. That, sir, is not progress.
Still, starting today, this is Bill Clinton's neighborhood.
I love you, Harlem. Thank you. God bless you. I feel at home. Thank you.
Home to a former president's legacy and a people's. Byron Pitts, CBS News, Harlem.
Now, the same caltrate that helps fight bone loss may help your colon too. In a recent study, caltrate helped reduce the risk of recurrence of colon polyps, a risk factor for colon cancer. The same caltrate you take for your bones, now for colon health too.
Hi, can I help you? Yeah, I think I'm starting to go. Yeah, well, that happens to the best of us.
Sears Auto Center, all top brands like Michelin, Goodyear, and Dunlop are on sale. Sears, America's #1 tire retailer.
Not only can we handle more of these stains than this leading powder, Whisk tablets can handle more grass stains too. Whisk tablets, anyone?
The long jump. The dash. Life is like a sport, and your feet take the impact hard. But new Stride Guard insoles absorb 50% more heel impact than these Dr. Scholl's. Take more impact in stride. New Stride Guard insoles.
The pain was awful. I was missing my own party. The pain got so bad I had to lie down, but it just got worse. Then I rediscovered a real reliever, Extra Strength Bayer aspirin. Nothing's proven stronger than Extra Strength Bayer on tough pain, not even a leading prescription. It's real relief I can depend on. And my doctor said original strength aspirin can help save your life by protecting your heart. Beautiful.
Take it for pain, take it for life.
Yesterday, allergies took you out of it. Today, Allegra can help bring you back. Allegra has fexofenadine for once daily relief for people 12 and older. Side effects include headache, upper respiratory tract infection, and back pain. Call your doctor now for more information. Allegra, enjoy your world.
Have you gotten yourself into too much credit card debt? You may be able to point and click your way out with a second mortgage from Ditech. Whether you have equity or no equity, Ditech has a second mortgage with a no-cost option that may help lower your monthly payments. Why pay monthly payments when you can pay off your high-interest debt with a second mortgage from Ditech.com? For fast, friendly service, apply online or call us at 1-800-71-FIX now.
A controversial school member tries to mend some fences, but is it too little too late? Point 6 News at 6.
In our evening news, in notes, Americans think their children are spoiled. 80% of adults in a Time magazine poll said children today are more spoiled than 10 or 15 years ago, with more than 2/3 of the parents admitting they spoil their own children. And scientists say they found the origin of what we now call Native Americans, and sure enough, it's not India. Turns out that they're from what is now Japan. 15,000 years ago, a people called the Jaman migrated from northern Japan across a land bridge, then linking Asia and Alaska. Over the next 1,000 years, they settled throughout the Americas. That's part of our history and our world tonight. We hope you'll join us again tomorrow for the CBS Evening News. Dan Rather reporting. Good night.
For news 24 hours a day, CBS Internet and on our interactive partner, America Online at keyword CBS News.
The Men Who Knew accused spy Robert Hansen best. Eye on America tomorrow. Experience news.
Now, with Jeff Gianola and Kelly Day, this is Coin 6 News.
Well, time is running out for Keiko. He needs to find a wild orca pod sometime in the next 3 weeks, or he'll have to find a new